Hello, welcome back for another video and hope you're having a great day wherever you are. And today again, a lot of great activities happening in the crypto space, so let's just get into it. First, we have JPMCoin could one day see consumer use. And of course, this is none other than JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon said in an annual investor day that he said JP Morgan coin could be internal, could be commercial, it could one day be consumer. Now, this is very, very key. So remember that Jamie Dimon first announced that there will be a JPM coin in Valentine's Day this year. And at that time, all the news that they said, and head of the blockchain of JPM also mentioned that it will mainly be targeting the business customers, the corporate customers of JP Morgan, because the corporate customers are the one that mainly have a lot of global funds transfers, and they are going to use this. And this can definitely facilitate a lot of the speed and lower their cost. But now, very interestingly, now that he also revealed that they are also targeting their consumer base, and they have a huge consumer base. Just in terms of their trading customers, that means the people who have a brokerage account with them is about 47 million people. And of course, their overall retail customers, right? That means people who have deposit and loans with them will be into the millions, and much more, right? So this is really huge. Now the thing is, then it shows that clearly this is clearly the case where by saying that it's a consumer coins and targeting the consumer use, right, to transfer money, retail payments, that they are directly trying to fight with Bitcoin, Stellar, right? Ethereum, Ripple, of course, right? So they're definitely broadening their enemies now by saying that, right, it's a consumer coin. Now, the thing is, why they will say that again, this just strengthened the case further that at first, in 2017, Jamie Dimon already said that Bitcoin is a scam, and he already said he will fire any trader that is caught trading this coin. And now, right, he is actually 2 years later, he is actually creating their own coin. So it is a classic case of first they ignore you, then they fight you, then they laugh at you, which is the second stage. Then now they fight you. This is now, which is exactly what's happening now. And the next stage, as you all know, is they will have no choice but to join you, right? So, and also that the fact that they are having their own closed network coins, meaning a private coin, right? This is a classic comparison. It's a close analogy to when internet was first available. AOL company create their own internal intranet, right? Which they thought that by having this intranet, it will fight the internet. But of course, we know what happens today. Over time, it is the public chain, because of so much bigger network effect that can be used by everybody, that the internet wins the race in the end. So eventually, I believe, and many people as well, that ultimately people like Jamie Dimon will, this JP Morgan coin will basically be a failure, is what a lot of people are speculating. Yeah. Yes. Let's move on. Next, Swiss bank JULIUS BAER to offer digital asset services. According to the news on Tuesday, JULIUS BAER said it has partnered with LSE-CRYPTO AG and will utilize platform to offer storage, transaction, and investment solutions for digital assets to meet growing demand from its clients. The arrangement will come into effect once SEBA receives a banking and securities dealer license from the country's financial regulator, the Financial Market Supervisory Authority. And it is expected to be Q2 this year that they can start offering this service. So it is noted also that SEBA is launched by a former UBS banker, has raised $104 million in a VC funding last September in a bid to establish its regulated cryptocurrency bank. They aim to offer traditional banking services to firms in the crypto industry alongside cryptocurrency trading, asset management, and custody services for institutions that are interested in moving to the space. Now, this is really significant news, right? So in addition to JPM saying that they have their own coin in February 14th this year, JULIUS BAER is a huge private banking bank. That means they mainly focus on private banking, and that means their clients are really the high net worth people and uber rich and above. And you see here, they have actually publicly said that the reason that they are offering crypto services is because there are growing demand from their clients. So it ought to tell you, it just proves to you that people are demanding, especially the rich. And this is despite the winter market, very important to know. So yes, and Julius BAER, their total AUM globally, that means assets under their management, that means assets that the clients entrusted them to manage is $380 billion, right? And if just 1%, so let's round it up, 1% is about 4 billion. If it's just 1% of that money goes into just Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the most established, and most of the time they will only go into the most established ones first, then 4 billion is about 6% of the market cap today of Bitcoin overall, which is about 67 billion. So just 1% of Julius BAER's assets investing into Bitcoin has potential to increase that at least by 7%. And of course, that 7% is just a direct correlation. And as you know, it doesn't work linearly, right? When you hear of this kind of news, and really when they invest, the impact is normally multiple fold, yeah? So that just ought to tell you what is happening in the world today. A lot of the traditional big names now, right? This year, definitely a lot of good news. Just in this January and February alone, you already have very official news like this coming up. Julius BAER is a huge name in the private banking industry, in case you are not aware, yeah? And their clients are really the huge, very rich people. And here it clearly says that they are, they are interested into crypto. Moving on, London Stock Exchange leads $20 billion fundraise for blockchain startup Nivara. So again, another big name is London Stock Exchange Group. So this is key because, right, they are not the only one funding this startup called Nivara, but they're the one leading it. In addition, there are very big names like Santander, Ventures. Santander is another huge bank in Europe, in Spain. Pensions and asset management giant Aegon. So you see, it's pension. Digital Currency Group is already a crypto fund, and Spencer Lake, formerly head of global markets at HSBC. And what does Nivara do? They plan to actually automate the entire life cycle for the issuance of financial instruments, and namely bonds, equities, derivatives. That means that they're basically trying to automate the investment banking services. That's what it means, yeah? And you see then the very big names, HSBC, London Stock Exchange, Santander, all these very big names in the banking industry, traditional banking industry, want a piece of the action. And there's no surprise, because they are realizing that, that they cannot fight this anymore. This is a classic case of they are already in the fourth stage of joining the race, because they realize that it is going to come. This evolution is already going mainstream, right? Slowly but steadily and surely. And rather than fighting it like JPMorgan, why not they just, jump in now early to make sure they get a piece of the pie as well, together with Julius BAER. I think they are definitely the very smart ones. And of course, London Stock Exchange also joining New York Exchange like ICE, right, launching BACT. And of course, you also have NASDAQ launching ErisX. So what is going to happen is that all the national stock exchange in the major country, that means every country's national stock exchange, is going to offer a crypto trading soon. That is the trend, right? So very important. If you are already invested, at least, again, all these developments just boost my confidence, and I believe is yours too. Next, institutional crypto wallet startup raises $6.5 million, eliminates private keys. So Curve, a digital asset startup headquartered in the US, has raised $6.5 million to launch a cloud-based digital asset wallet for financial institutions that does not use private keys. So what do they use? They actually use a cloud-based software system to store the crypto assets, yeah? And The seed round was led by digital asset investment company Digital Currency Group, again digital currency, and Israeli cybersecurity company Team 8. And apart from that, Monex Group is another very big name in the venture capital space. So this is key because that you have companies now that offering very convenient solutions for financial institutions, for institutions to come in to participate in the crypto space. And these companies are, they have the confidence that their, venture funds are investing in these companies because they believe that there is that market. Because institutions, unlike you and me, right, they really want a convenient, easy solution. They don't, you can't imagine, right, really a fund manager of $1 trillion fund using their ledger and then figuring out updating the their version to the latest version, that kind of things. It's just unimaginable, really. So a lot of company is also trying to a lot of all these startups are trying to make it easier, very convenient, very user friendly for these institutions, and that will help their adoption. So that just again ought to tell you what's happening. Now remember, all these big company, big venture capital funds, they can also invest in other things, right? For them to invest in this startup, although it's a small amount, but that small amount of money has opportunity cost. The amount of money could very well be used elsewhere, right? But they choose to invest in crypto space, and that again ought to tell you the huge potential that this space holds. Moving on, Samsung announces Galaxy S10 crypto partners, Bitcoin and Ethereum support. Now, this is very good news because Samsung is slowly giving out more details about what their crypto offerings are. As we all know already, that they already said that the newest at Galaxy S10 is going to incorporate a crypto wallet, and now that they are going to say it will support Ethereum, Bitcoin, that's for sure, and they also have something called Cosme token and Engines token. So Cosme is related to beauty, where users can review beauty products and they can earn also the token on this platform. Engine is related to gaming. So very interesting, right? And yeah, it is good that, and the other thing note is that they support Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that ought to tell you that how much confidence they have in these two major cryptocurrency. The other thing is this: if you're really new and if you want to be super safe, it is safe to just invest your money into the largest cap coins, and this ought to tell you, you'll see which are the coins that are supported by major platforms. Those are the ones that, you will definitely have more confidence to invest in. Next up, again, right, so the Samsung and the next two news I'm going to talk about is really, there's a trend definitely going into companies are offering very user-friendly crypto solutions for individuals. That means they really want to make it super easy, even like a child, right, as well as maybe 10 years old, or a grandma or granddad who is like 70, 80 years old or 90 years old can use. And why? Because they incorporate into something that you are already super familiar with, which is your mobile phone, something that a lot of people can't even live without daily, right? When the first thing they wake up, they look at their phones, right? And this is the thing that definitely will be in most people's bedroom with them. And that is super cool. And that just ought to tell you again where the space is heading. So next news is Electroneum launches an $80 crypto mining smartphone. So there's a blockchain startup called Electroneum. They have launched a dirt cheap Android smartphone that rewards users in cryptocurrency. It's called M1. Is a Google Mobile Services certified smartphone that comes with a cloud mining technology integration, enabling users to earn crypto through an app. So the thing is, this is super cheap. It's at $80 only in US, and I think in some countries it's so even cheaper at $60. And in the beginning, they will only mine Electroneum's native token, with a claim monthly return of up to $3. That means you can, use the phone to mine cryptocurrency. So super easy, right? You don't even have to buy extra tools, extra hardware, software and you don't need to set up anything. The phone itself, and it's sold at a super cheap price, can already mine cryptocurrency. And of course, first it will only give you Electronium, but of course you can sell that in the open market and you can get back cash immediately, right? And the thing is, they are the token, if you want to keep in token, also fine, because they have an ecosystem for you to spend. You can spend it to top up your mobile airtime and online services and also shopping. And they're very, very smart. This company is launching first in South Africa. And as you know, South Africa, people there is very hard to to do global transfers in, especially to deal with overseas online shopping, overseas business transfers, right? It is very, very difficult. And they're targeting this kind of markets first, where the use case of Bitcoin and major cryptocurrencies are definitely much more valued than, people in Africa are, they put a higher value to Bitcoin and major cryptocurrency use case of just able to transfer funds easily, instantly, and at super low fees, much higher. They value this service, this capability much higher than someone in developed countries like US, like Singapore. That is why, right? It's a very smart move that they are launching first in in Africa. HTC's blockchain phone Exodus partners with Opera browser adds multiple dApps. So Exodus, they have a phone developed by giant HTC that they are now already partnering with web browser Opera, and they're adding support for a few decentralized applications, namely Numbers. What does Numbers do? They're able to track user data and allow users to sell their data to third parties for cryptocurrency while retaining both control over the data that is shared and transparency into the companies interested in the data. Now, this is again huge. So, do you see the trend or not that, you have Samsung, Electronium, very cheap phone, and HTC, they are making it very, very easy for your mobile phone to buy crypto, to store crypto. And HTC's one, you can through the Opera browser, you can already definitely pay and buy Ethereum. So very, very, they really want to onboard people very easily, very user friendly to the crypto space. And what better way? It is through the device that you're already very familiar with today, that you cannot even live without, right? So that's the thing. Moving on, Litecoin Foundation partners with Glory Kickboxing to make LTC League's official crypto. So, Litecoin is in the news again, and they are formally partnering with Premier Kickboxing League Glory to become their official cryptocurrency for its online merchandise platform and international events. So, Glory is one of the major kickboxing company, right? And they have signed top kickboxing heavyweights including Dutch Lumberjack, Peter X, and Remy Bonjarski, aka the Flying Gentleman. They will integrate Litecoin into its online merchandise store, gloryshop.com. The link will also allow fans in the US and Europe to use the cryptocurrency to purchase various Litecoin exclusive event-related privileges. These include athlete meets and greets, backstage arena tours, and premium in-arena seating. This is really, really smart for Litecoin too. They seem to be now partnering with the sporting events, right? So it is interesting because the sporting events generally have a wide range of customers, but definitely also have a large percentage of their customers who watch kickboxing belong to the younger generation. So they're definitely very smart. Younger generation are definitely more open to something like a crypto, right? So very, very smart in terms of marketing, in terms of increasing visibility for Litecoin. And not only that, I think it was a few weeks ago that they also mentioned that they are going to enhance Litecoin with a privacy feature that they're already in talks with Mimblewimble. So very, very interesting. It seems like Litecoin, Charlie Lee is now pushing a lot to increase the use case of Litecoin, so very, very good. Very shout out to Litecoin. Moving on, $66 million building to be tokenized on Ethereum blockchain in record deal. So a company called ICP that they plan to tokenize some $260 million worth of 4 private real estate transactions on Ethereum. Now, what is so interesting about this news is that they So first of all, 260 million is a huge number. Although it's 4 properties, that means it's still about, some is 60 million, some is 90 million. And some of this is office buildings, some of this student housing, which is again very popular. And the fact that they are doing this, that means they're making it much more affordable for investors to hold some shares in expensive buildings, right? And the fact that they are putting it on Ethereum blockchain increases the use case of Ethereum. The other thing is they are doing it through an auction. So everything is very transparent. The way that they do it is that people just put in the bids that they think they want to bid, and no one knows how much is it, right? And then when the finally who gets the stakes will then determine by highest bids to lowest bids. The other very key feature about this tokenization of real estate is that all the information about these estates, that means the shareholding, the contracts, the title, everything will be put into a blockchain, and it is in their native form, and that is very key. That means all the Excel modeling behind, even if it's Excel, you can search it and retrieve it in Excel, and that is why it is so cool, right? Because otherwise, normally today, the common practice is that you PDF everything and you just store everything in PDF. But when people want to retrieve that, and you cannot really search, right, the items in the PDF for an Excel, and even if you retrieve that Excel in PDF, it's very hard for you to actually process further the Excel. So now that they are changing all this with blockchain, and this is really cool. Though for this particular transaction that they are targeting relatively rich people, because in this case they need the buyer to hold at least $10 million in crypto with a minimum purchase of $500,000. So there are other transactions which I have seen. Definitely the entry is much lower. That means the threshold to even just being considered as an investor is much lower, like 20,000. So 20,000 is much more affordable to a lot more people than minimum purchase of 500,000, and you need to have $10 million in crypto. So this transaction is definitely targeting the super rich people, and it's not surprising that there are enough people out there, rich people who have crypto now, right? Look at the JULIUS bear case. They are already acknowledging openly that there are a lot of rich people openly increasingly more interested in crypto despite the crypto winter. And in fact, they are probably more interested because of the crypto winter. Now they can get it at very cheap prices. Next, online loan platform Sophie will offer crypto trading through Coinbase. So Coinbase is in the news again, and they are now partnering with Sophie. It's a millennial-focused online lending platform to allow their customers to buy cryptocurrency through Coinbase. It's not clear now what are the tokens that they can buy, but regardless, Coinbase is in the news again, which is very great for Coinbase. Very smart move on their part. They really need to catch up with Binance, right? And also other cryptocurrency exchange that are coming. So Sophie is a large company in the online lending space. They reportedly valued at about $4 billion. They have 1,400 employees. This is as of end 2018. So they are very huge on online lending, targeting the students' loans and the personal loans. And that means their customers is really young, millennials. And now that they seem to be broadening out their offerings, because I believe the online loans targeting the young people is not that profitable anymore because interest rates are rising. It is very hard for young people to afford the loan, so demand for loan will go down. So now that they are branching into cryptocurrency, and why not? It is the growing space. It's the only growing space probably in the world today, right? So very, very interesting news. And I believe, I don't know, it's not clear how is the revenue split, but I believe, I'm sure Sophie will be able to take a cut as well of the commissions, right, that is earned by Coinbase. But regardless, Coinbase will definitely get more volumes in this case because of the partnership. It just opens up another captive customers of available in Sophie. So very, very great initiative on the part of Coinbase, and also very smart that they are not competing head on with Binance. So it is really cool to see that they are taking a very different strategy, and that means the market is also huge enough to play, right? Last news, Indian Institute rolls out advanced program on fintech and blockchain. So Indian Institute of Management IIM Calcutta and training platform Talent Spirit are jointly offering an advanced program in fintech and blockchain technology. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to educate participants on financial technology's growth and its potential impact on the banking and financial ecosystem. Now, this news is key because IIM is a very, very reputable university in India, and now that they are also offering fintech and blockchain course, and this also brings me to the point that actually a lot of the Ivy League universities in US, I'm not sure a lot of people know this, but so I just want to highlight that, including Stanford, MIT, Princeton, a lot of them are offering at least one crypto courses, and that ought to tell you again, right? So all these universities are very smart. They must have seen the demand incoming from the new generation, and that's why they want to be prepared. They really want to offer this first, yeah? And yeah, so again, very, very bullish overall for the crypto market. And also, I just want to end it on last point. I've heard a lot of people expecting the market will rally starting even in March or April this year. So today is 27th of February, right? You still have today and tomorrow to buy into the low prices, right? That's really what I think. If you think you still have some spare change that you can afford to lose, why not, right? This is a bet probably worth taking because of the asymmetric risk. And now you have at least the confidence that so many big names are entering this space, right? Really, really huge name in the space. JULIUS, BAER, London Stock Exchange, ICE, JPM fighting it, Samsung, right? And when Apple comes in, it's going to be huge again. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please subscribe, leave a like or leave a comment, right? And yes, I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow, and thank you so much for your support. I truly, truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Hope you have an amazing day wherever you are. Thank you.